Well, hey, welcome back to BoneDry Bonsai. I'm Joel. Appreciate you checking out the channel. So I've got today what I consider to be three really awesome beginner bonsai trees. And that's coming from the perspective of a beginner. I've been at this now for just over 2 years. And these trees kind of just been growing on their own with a little bit of work. So I've got three types. I've got what you're going to see in today's video is a Ficus benjamina. It's tropical. This could be grown indoors or outdoors, depending on your climate, or a combination of both. I've brought it in when it's cold. The tree was ordered online, came right to the door, and the next one that'll likely be in the following video in this series is a Quercus agrifolia, or coast live oak. It's a broadleaf evergreen, and this tree was bought at a nursery. It was a little bonsai section, but I've just basically let it grow over the last couple years. Evergreen meaning that it has leaves on it all year long. These leaves will fall off usually in the next year after the new growth has come on. So it moves water more slowly. It's a slower growing tree, but it's also more durable to high heat, to high temperatures, and a little bit more drought tolerant. And then the last one is a deciduous tree. This is a maple, and this was a collected tree from a flower bed. It's deciduous. It moves water rapidly, it grows rapidly, and this tree loses its leaves completely in the fall. That's why it's deciduous, and then puts on a completely new flush of growth in the spring. Up until this point, 2+ years in, there's really not a lot of huge effort that goes into these plants. It can be a learning process. You get started with these trees, get out there and get a tree, get it in a pot, and then you can start learning and building. There's going to be things that you wanted to do differently, but you can grow with the tree. So yeah, most of the work on these trees just comes in spurts, and so during those times when all you're doing is just providing some water and maybe supplemental nutrition, you can be learning and building your skills. So in today's video, you're going to kind of see the first real sort of styling of this Ficus. First time I've applied wire in 2+ years. I've just done some branch selection and tried to keep things kind of tidy. Studied a little bit of design, trying to figure that part of it out. But today I just do this wiring. In part 2 of this series, I'll be working on both of these trees. I don't think they're going to be as much of a time commitment, and I'll kind of walk through the process of what I end up doing with those. So I'm glad you found the channel today. I hope you enjoy the video. Check it out. Right, so this is the tropical that I'm working on today. It's a Ficus, I think benjamina. It was an order online tree, one of the first ones I got. Was just billed as a Ficus. I've got a video that I did on this in February. I'll put a link. I love the tree. They did kind of a classic you know, when you buy a tree online as a bonsai. I think that's typical of what sometimes they do. I don't think they do it all the time. So if you like that or not, that's a consideration. I mean, you just kind of order a tree online and you get what you get in the mail, and then you have to deal with it. I guess you could eventually cut the S out of it. So in that video in February, I took a pretty significant branch off right here. I didn't like the angle it was growing. It looks like it's trying to heal. But I'm gonna take some branches off today that are gonna cause structural issues, and just put a little bit of wire I'm happy with the position of some of these. And also, I think I'll be taking off all these older leaves, last year's leaves. And maybe on some of this year's first leaves, I may take back about 70% of it. So I've got, you know, everybody says take off the branches at the top, take off the branches at the bottom. If they're not going to cause structural issues, I don't want to do that. They can be manipulated with wire and moved into a nice spot. Well, this is an older leaf I can take off right away. I've got these two branches here, these small branches that I think that upper one is going to be the one that needs to come off. It's closer to this knuckle. And at the back here, I've got two branches coming out of the same spot. For now, I'm just going to take off the really small one in the back. Try not to break anything. That may be a branch that I could use. I'm going to take the tips off of these branches. I want this left side to stop getting long. Take the tip off of this one. I'm going to remove this older leaf entirely. This branch is broken. I think I'm having visitors on my bench at night. Well, I don't think, I know I am. I just set the game camera up so I can see what is happening there in the wee hours of the night. I had a little succulent on the bench that got just completely eaten. Pretty sure it's a rat or a mouse. But I think that's what broke the branch on this little tree also. Branches are really delicate. I think with the growth of this branch is going to probably want to come off. I'm going to put some wire here, try and pair it with this small one in the back, and if I can get it where I want it. So I've got a branch starting here, so if I can get that bend the way I want it and lay it out like I want it, I think this branch will be unnecessary. bold with your wraps. Just go for it. I think the less time you spend fumbling around on the branch, the better off you are. And if you're just bold and go for it, it seems to work out a little better. You just get done with the branch and get off of it. See, I'm coming in on the wrong side of the shoulder of this back branch. Now I've blown it. That was a nice wrap on that bigger branch. I like that. This is where I'll just break it right off, I swear. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So when you go on your opposing branches, you get the most function out of the wire if you go counterclockwise on one, you need to go clockwise on the other. This is just proven to be really not good. Take this tip off. So I do think that I'll be able to use a branch here in this space if I want something in that space. Trying to give everything their own little spot in the sun. This branch is weak. Looks like I nudged it. I'm gonna remove it. I think this needs to be kicked into the spot here a little bit. It's got little branches right in this knuckle that are going to cause structural issues, cause inverse taper here. Be bold. goal isn't to keep wiring and wiring and wiring the trees. It's to get my primary branches and my secondary branches set so that I can just start using clip and grow on the smaller, finer branches. I think that's always the goal. You don't want to have to keep rewiring a tree all the time. I'll have to do it to make sure they stay in place, but hopefully just a couple of times, and then they'll be set. Although I do like wiring, it's fun, and I don't mind looking at it on a tree if it's done nicely. Kind of a little bling, especially with the copper wire. I think it kind of looks cool. I think I gotta go tight on this one because of that little branch. I like to keep a 55 to 60 degree angle on these wraps consistently, but sometimes you have to make a little adjustment. That's what I get for trying to use up my used wire. It broke where I had an old bend in it, and now I'm not going to get out to the tip like I wanted to. So sometimes it does not pay to try and be frugal. May have to come out onto that branch with a smaller wire now. If you're finding value in this content at all, hit that subscribe button. It'll help the channel. Nice cut. Yeah, you know what? That's an alder leaf. I'm going to take it all the way off. This one also. Some of these younger leaves, if they don't feel real waxy, I'm just going to leave them. Let them completely harden off. This is an older leaf back here. This is an older leaf. So I kind of see this apical region moving back. I'm thinking this is going to be my defining branch. I wouldn't mind being able to close this angle a little bit. A little more foliage. This is an old leaf. Okay, this is going to be a redo. Oh my God. with this one. This entire branch, I mean. I think this whole branch needs to come back. So I do think I'll take this tip off. This branch is a little long. I want to be able to build. So yeah, try and compress that a little bit. I like that better. Hoping to be able to build with these branches. I like these two. This one I'm not sure about. It's too small for me to wire. I'm going to take it back to here. I don't know, I think I balanced it out pretty good. I did not wire every single little branch. Like this one. And this one, I just feel like I'm gonna start doing more damage than I'm helping on the tree. So yeah, we'll see what happens as this continues to grow. I'll be able to create more of an apical region here, I think, with these other smaller branches that exist. I might be able to drop this down into the, kind of get some kind of a billowy effect going. I'll give these younger leaves a chop as they harden off. So Ficus benjamina, I believe. It's a good beginner tree. Coming from a beginner, it can be done, it can be grown indoors. I like to put mine out. After I did the work in February, I put it right out on the bench. So I'll give it a water, and then we'll see how it reacts to what I did to it today. All right, let's give it some water.